Hey guys, welcome to this video lecture series on the subject of polymer science and technology. I'm Harsh Panchal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video, we are going to start with all new chapter of your syllabus, and that is polymerization techniques. But before discussing these main polymerization techniques, we need to understand why we have to learn these different techniques. In previous chapter, we have already understand what are the different polymerization reaction. Now we have already understand different type of reaction. Then why we need to understand different techniques? Well, up till now, we have seen chemical aspect of the polymerization reaction, right? We have seen how this free radical reaction take place, or this ionic polymerization reaction take place, or even this copolymerization reaction take place, right? So that all was all about the chemical aspect related to this polymerization. Now, in this chapter, we are going to discuss the physical aspect of the polymerization reactions, right? That involve different systems such as the, the polymerization system, then catalyst system, and lastly, the solvent system. So, we are going to cover all these systems in this physical aspect of the polymerization reactions, and that termed as the polymerization techniques, right? So whenever we need to carry out this polymerization reaction, we always require certain type of the medium, right? This medium can be of a different type, such as solid state, or it can be in a liquid state, or it also can be in a gaseous state. So based on these three states, we have different type of polymerization techniques, right? But we have very limited reach with this solid polymerization, right? We do not involve this solid phase in the polymer reaction. Then if we discuss about this gaseous state, then we are also dealing very limited type of the reaction that take place in the gaseous state. So mainly we are going to focus on the liquid state. So majorly our all the polymerization technique will be based on this liquid state, and up to certain extent we will be dealing with this solid and gaseous phase, right? So now having said that, let me just introduce you with these polymerization techniques. So you can see here on the screen that liquid phase polymerization techniques, right? So when this monomer, initiator, inhibitor are completely miscible with each other, then they can be produce uniform liquid, which can also be referred as the homogeneous polymerization, right? So we have already understand what do we mean by homogeneous polymerization in very first introductory lecture, right? So when this initiator, monomer and inhibitor all are completely miscible with each other, then we can say that they are in a one single phase. So they can be referred as the homogeneous phase, and entire reaction can be termed as the homogeneous polymerization, right? So the next thing comes in our mind is that when your monomer, initiator, catalyst and the inhibitor are of a different phases, right? They are not completely miscible with each other. So they will not form one a single phase. They will form one heterogeneous phase. So there will be more than single phase, and that thing we termed as the heterogeneous polymerization reaction. Now let's understand what are the different techniques come under the tag of homogeneous polymerization, and what are the different polymerization technique that come under the heterogeneous stage, right? You can see here on the screen that first we have homogeneous polymerization, and on the another side we have heterogeneous polymerization. This homogeneous polymerization include bulk polymerization that we will understand in this video with detailed concept. Then we have solution polymerization, which is very much similar to the bulk polymerization technique. And in the both the technique, taking all the components taking part in the reaction are of the same phase. So we can say that they are the homogeneous polymerization. Now on the another side, we have suspension polymerization and emulsion polymerization. So as the name suggests, they form one another phase from the monomer and initiators, right? So they can be termed as the heterogeneous polymerization because they involve more than one phase or more than a single phase. Hence, total we have 4 different techniques to understand in the polymerization techniques. Now, having said that, let's just start with the first technique of the bulk polymerization. So now as you can see on the screen that this bulk polymerization technique can also be referred as the mass polymerization technique, because we are going to deal with bulk of monomer and initiator combinedly together when they are carried out by adding a soluble initiator to pure monomer in a liquid state. So our monomer and initiator both will be having in a liquid state. So we can use a monomer which is soluble in a specific type of solvent, or we can say water. And we are also taking initiator which are also soluble in a same liquid. So all in all, our entire mixture will be homogeneous phase. Now you can see that the reaction is initiated by heat or exposing it to the radiation. Now let me just take an example. As you can see here in this animation, this is one beaker that I have taken, or we can refer it as the reaction tank, right? So in this reaction tank, I will add our monomer. You can see that this is the monomer solution. Blue dots are your monomer, and this monomer are in a liquid state, or they are miscible with some specific type of solvent. You can refer water as a solvent for a now. Now I will add my initiator inside this reactor, which are also soluble in a same liquid, right? In a same solvent that we have taken as the water. So now you can see that my mixture is completely homogeneous inside this reactor. Now when I will apply heat by external source like this, you can see here in this animation, or by with the external radiation, this polymerization reaction will take place and it will form polymer. You can see here that the reaction is initiated by heating or exposing to the radiation, right? So when this reaction mass, all this reaction mass will expose to the heat or the radiation, it will produce a polymer. Now as the reaction proceed, the solid product form at the bottom, right? You can see here, let me just take a pen. Now, as this reaction will proceed, this solid polymer will form like this. You can see here at the bottom of the reactor, right? You can see here this solid polymer like this will form because of this heat. And you can see that as this solid product at the bottom produces, the viscosity of medium increases. So it is not that much difficult to understand. When this solid will form, this polymer will form at the bottom, it will increase the viscosity, and which will ultimately reduce the mixing. So you can say that this bulk polymerization has certain type of limitation because of this viscosity effect. Now, as you can see in this animation, that at the end of this bulk polymerization, the product form has the varying length, right? Their length will be different. You can see here, this particular product has a different length, then this particular product is also having different length. So we can say that in a bulk polymerization, polymer is obtained is of different length. Their length is continue to vary. So we are not going to get same size of the polymer. This reaction is also very exothermic. So as this reaction proceed, it will generate a large amount of heat, and that heat is need to be dissipated in order to smooth function of this polymerization technique. So this is what all about the bulk polymerization, right? This entire concept can be understood with this particular beaker or this particular reactor that we have taken. So let me just quickly revise you this bulk polymerization. What I was having initially is that this reaction tank, right? Inside this reaction tank, I am taking my monomer, right? These blue dots are your monomer, which are soluble in specific type of the solvent, right? And inside which I am also adding my initiator, which are again soluble in the same solvent. So all in all, we have one homogeneous mixture. Now on the application of heat, this polymerization reaction will proceed and it will form polymers. You can see here, these are the polymer chain that has produced at the bottom of the beaker. So as this reaction proceed, it continue to produce polymer at the bottom, and that will be increase its viscosity. So again, this viscosity is very crucial parameter in the polymerization process, right? And this will be the main limitation of the bulk polymerization. So now having said that, let's just discuss what are the different advantages and disadvantages of these bulk polymerization reactions. You can see here higher molecular mass polymer can be obtained easily with this bulk polymerization process. So with this process we can produce a molecular which has higher molecular weight, right? Then this system is simple and only require thermal insulation. So basically you can see that this system do not require any fancy material, right? Only simple thermal insulation will be enough for this entire bulk polymerization process. So we can say that this is less of the complicated and it is more simple process. Then the polymer obtained is as higher purity and minimum byproducts. So you can see that we are not adding any outside additives or different solvents, right? So we can say that this polymer will be free from the contamination. That means this polymer or the product will be at the highest purity and we will have minimum byproducts. Then then produced polymer can be used directly. So we can directly utilize this polymer for our application part. In bulk polymerization, there is no solvent contamination and hence high quality of polymer can be produced. So this is again one major advantage of this bulk polymerization process, in which we are not using any kind of other solvent than the single, in which we are not using any other kind of additives. So it reduces the contamination. Then this system do not need any isolation. So the product produced from this method do not require any separating process, or we can say any another isolation process, right? So this was all the major advantage. Now let's discuss what are the disadvantages of this bulk polymerization process. You can see here on the screen that the major disadvantage is associated with the heat transfer. So as this is the exothermic reaction, as reaction proceed, it produce large amount of heat and this bulk polymerization cannot be dissipated this produced heat. So we can say that this heat transfer is one of the major disadvantage of this process. And because of this, viscosity continue to increase and this reaction mass become very difficult to mix or the agitate, right? Then this reaction is highly exothermic as already we have discussed. The product obtained are of the varying length, right? So this produced polymer is having different lengths. So with the help of this method we cannot produce uniform type of the polymers. Then diffusibility of growing chain become restricted with the increase in the viscosity and hence the probability of chain collision become less. Hence the termination of this chain become very difficult. So we can say that it is very much difficult to stop this polymerization, or we can say arrest this polymerization, right? Because there is no collision between two long chain and that will lead to the termination of polymerization. So it is very crucial, or we can say it is very difficult to stop or arrest this polymerization in this particular bulk polymerization method. And due to this poor heat transfer, this phenomena is called as auto acceleration. So because of this poor heat transfer, this polymerization reaction is continue to supplied with the heat and this reaction will be auto accelerated. That means it will be similar to the autocatalytic reaction, right? So sometimes this auto accelerated reaction become uncontrollable and it can also lead to the explosion. So this was the all disadvantage of the bulk polymerization process. Now let's just quickly discuss what are the application of this bulk polymerization technique. You can see here it is mainly used for the free radical polymerization reactions that we have understand in the third chapter. Now it is mainly used for the production of polystyrene and polymethyl metaacetate, right? So these are the two major products that are being produced with the bulk polymerization process. Even some amount of PVC is also produced with this method. It is also used to prepare molding powders, right? Low molecular mass adhesive and lubricants. So these are the some of the application where this bulk polymerization is used. You can see here in this image, this is the PMA sheet, right? This sheet can also be produced with the help of bulk polymerization. So this was all about the bulk polymerization. We will understand the solution polymerization technique in the next video. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.